I added you, or I started following you on Google Plus too, by the way.
Oh, that's great. We're right now live. Okay. We are live, and today is a very special broadcast. Fuck. Sorry about this. It's I don't really create hangouts very often because this is entirely new to me. But um, so yeah, today's guest we have Tabby Wetza. Say hi.
Hello, guys.
Yes, and Tabby, you have a story to tell to everyone.
Indeed, I do.
Yeah. Holy shit! There's not even one viewer. Well, hopefully, someone will come along. Let me see if anyone is on Discord is willing to take a look at this Google Hangouts thingy bob. Just,
Yeah, I'm gonna share a link to Ichabod's group too.
yes.
Yeah, and I mean, I wouldn't say I'm necessarily in need per se, but it's okay. Um, I mean, this is something that happened like over 20 years ago, and I'm for the most part over it now. I've moved forward from it, though it is one of those things that intrusively comes to mind once in a while.
Mm. Yeah. Still, I feel like I get the feeling that you're going to get a little bit emotional, and I feel like I should have at least a few people come over and you know just to make you feel better in case you start breaking down through the story. So
I mean, I'll admit I am nervous about sharing the story, publicly, that is. I mean, I've told a few people about what's happened to me in the past, but it's usually like really close friends or relatives that, didn't quite know what happened. But yeah, it's
it's all cool. It's all cool.
no
So
problem.
uh, anytime you want to start, just let me know.
All right, and if anybody
No, um, I think we're some technical difficulties here. Tabby, Tabby. Oh, shit. Uh, well, this is awkward. Oh no. Um, Jeez, what am I to do with two viewers on the internet? I mean, man, I used to have maybe 10, and wow, how the mighty have fallen. If you guys are, I got a comment. Nirab23 says, ooh, fucking ooh. Yeah, I see you, buddy. Yeah. I wonder if Candy Keel 10 is watching. That's the African fool. Oh, she's gone. Oh no. Tabby! Tabby, no! Tabby! Oh no. Well, let me check on Twitter. Fuck.
Yeah, okay, there we go. Sorry, it's my internet router.
Oh, okay, okay. uh, hey, at least we have like 2 viewers. I think they're getting entertained. Puedes hablar español? Sí, yo hablo español.
Tabs I have open too. Screwing with the bandwidth. Um,
Yeah.
that, or it's the squirrels outside running up and down the wire. The bastards. Anywho.
Oh, we got another
Um,
viewer. Now we got
oh,
3. Yay!
what's up, guys?
Yeah,
Oh
say
yeah.
hello to the 3 viewers on our channel. Man, that
Or
this
at
is
least two of them.
oh 4 people are watching. Yes.
Hello. Don't worry, you guys haven't missed anything except for some technical difficulties.
Yeah,
Mostly on my end.
yeah, but there was five viewers. Ah, 5.
Okay.
Red Gungus
Alright.
and I. We got
AG has become the count.
five viewers. Let's go for 6. Can we get a 6?
Hang on a second. Gotta pause the video on the stream. Yeah, because I can't see the messages in the chat, so I gotta have the YouTube thing open too.
Yes, yes, Red
Um,
Gungus, hype indeed.
hey, so much hype.
Yeah, so much
Alright,
hype
so
for a story. Oh, we lost a viewer. Oh no.
that's okay.
Yeah, but it's fine. It's fine.
Alright. So, anyway, um, as long as my internet behaves itself,
Yeah.
I'm going to the story I'm going to share is essentially something that happened to me over 20 years ago. I want to now I said in the past that I was 5, but thinking on it now what year it actually took place in, it was probably right after I turned 6. So anyway, I lived in can anyone hear me okay?
I think they can. You know,
Okay.
because I'm pretty sure. Well, hold on. Let me just raise
Cuz
the.
I kind of hear like an echo too.
Okay, so I checked the sound on the live feed, so we're pretty good.
Okay. All right, good. All right. So, I lived in Tacoma, Washington. This was like mid 1995. Um, I believe I lived on Junette Street at the time, and it's a neighborhood that had like a lot of families with kids, mostly my age, but there were teenagers around too. Um, one household in particular um, had like 5 kids. 2 of them I went to school with. 2 of them were teenagers in high school, and I think there was a toddler. But anyway, one of the teenagers, his name was Damien. I forget the last name, but I mean, I'm just gonna spoil it right here. That's the guy who did things to me.
Uh,
So yeah, he I'm not exactly sure how old he was at the time. I want to say he was probably 16 or 17 when he did these things. But to start out with, it was kind of like I kind of went over to their house to play with the other 2 kids that were my age, and we were it the first the all right. There's multiple occurrences here. The first one, didn't really think much of it. I mean, I was 6. I didn't know better anyway. But we were playing go hide and seek and stuff. And in the backyard, they had like I don't know what they call them, but like how some pickup trucks you can get like this sort of accessory for the bed of your truck, where it's kind of covered, but it has windows and stuff on it.
hmm.
I have no idea what they call those.
Yeah.
I think it's just like a cap, really.
Mm.
But a lot of people use those for like camping and stuff, where you can sleep in the bed of the truck without getting rained on or whatever. And that was just sort of like sitting in the backyard, so I was hiding in that. And Damien was it.
Mm.
So like, and I was really bad at this game anyway. So I kept being found, and he said something along the lines of, "I'll let you off the hook this time, and go after somebody else if you show me your underwear or whatever," that kind of thing. It was it was like a "I'll show you mine if you show me yours" kind of deals. I obviously said no because that kind of thing was kind of like, why? I had no concept of why anybody would want to see a little girl's underwear, much less be interested in showing off my underwear, because I had been taught to keep that sort of thing hidden, anyways. So later on, probably about a week or two later, his older sister, who was the older of the two teens, she would occasionally come by and kind of like babysit my younger brother whenever both of my parents had to work at the same time. Me and my older brother were kind of independent at that time. We usually just kind of ran around outside and played with all the other kids in groups. Pretty, for the most part, pretty safe environment aside from the obvious danger that's obvious now. But anyways, so once in a while, Damien would come along as well. And one day, I was like in my room, which I actually shared with my brothers at the time because my uncle was staying with us, and he ended up getting my room, which was kind of funny because it was like pink with a freaking Disney princess border all over the wall. Anyway, so he comes up to the room. My older brother's outside, and the babysitter is a little preoccupied with taking care of my younger brother. So he comes up and he's like, so hey, do you want to play a game? Yes, he referred to you know what as a game. And I was like, a game? Okay, sure. You know, in my naivete, just sort of like kind of went along with it. So he told me the rules of this game, and I thought it was a kind of a weird game. But at this point, I kind of felt, yeah, yeah, definitely a bad man. Reading the comments. Um, so the game basically consisted of me getting naked, not him, and basically just being naked in front of him. And I was a little weirded out at first, but he kind of tricked me into being okay with it just by saying it was, a harmless game.
Mm.
Yeah. And um, so of course, he didn't do much that time. I think what he was trying to do was groom me, kind of like ease into it a little bit. The second time he came over, nobody was home. It was literally just me. My brother was outside. My mom went grocery shopping, and my dad was at work. My uncle, he was probably out looking for a job. So like he comes by again. I open the door, and because I trust the guy, I let him in. He adds a few more rules to the game. This time he had to I had to let him touch me, which I unfortunately did, not knowing any better.
Oh, that's
Yeah. Now, he only used his hands, but it's still pretty gross.
yeah.
And it felt weird, it felt gross, and god do I wish I had seen the Sonic Says involving that thing before.
uh,
Yeah, that episode aired a few weeks later, by the way.
I
Yeah.
never watched the. Yeah, I wasn't born at the time, and I wasn't growing up with cable, so at the time discovered this like it was somewhere around mid 2010 a Sonic show, and I wasn't aware of it. Like, wow,
Yeah.
parents
The
really.
Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. Teaching kids not to play in freaking drying laundromat dryers. We
Uh,
must have been some stupid kids in the 90s.
yeah, the '90s was pretty fucked up.
Yeah. But continuing with the story, so basically he fingered me. Let me just be blunt. Oh, sorry for the lag, guys. Um yeah. So the third time he got me to touch him, and it was rather strange. I did not understand at all what fun there was in grabbing a guy's penis, especially at least knowing at the time that, pee comes out of there. Like, ew, why am I touching this and why are you touching mine? That kind of thing. But see, it wasn't just that. He also tried to get me to put it in my mouth, and that was definitely like my red flag right there. Because I was like, ew, pee comes out of there. I'm not putting that in my mouth. And thank God my uncle was home. He was taking a shower, and this guy got really daring at this point, you know, to his own dismay more than mine. But my uncle, he was taking a shower at the time, and I guess he thought he would get a quickie in or something before, or he just plain didn't realize that my uncle was home. But I started protesting at this point, like, no, and I was getting real loud. And so I guess my uncle must have heard me because suddenly I couldn't hear the water running, and we could hear the bathroom door from downstairs open up, and he panics. Um, Damien panicked, and he he decides to try to get me dressed as quickly as possible, but unfortunately, I don't think he realized that a 6-year-old did not quite know how to use pantyhose. Because that was the first and only thing he handed me was a pair of pantyhose, like tights. And
What?
yeah, no underwear, just tights, the kind of you can kind of see through.
Wow.
So yeah, so I'm just like, I can't put this on. I suck at this thing. So obviously, I couldn't put them on fast enough. And he couldn't help because he didn't know what the hell to do. So his last resort was to grab a random sheet from one of our beds and try to conceal me as my uncle walked up the stairs. I could see my uncle like peeking out from behind the sheets, like his head was just kind of just above the floor as he was walking up the stairs. He saw what was going on, knew what was going on, and immediately went after Damien and threw him out, and then immediately called the cops after. And after he did that, he checked on me, asked if I was okay and all that, and I'm like, I guess. And he ran me to a hospital, to make sure I didn't have any, injuries or whatever. That wasn't a fun hospital trip. It was not fun in the slightest. Like, I got that my uncle was upset because at this point he didn't really know who Damien was. So I got that he was upset, but I didn't quite understand at the time why he was so upset and why he was so freaked out. Like, he was white as a sheet. Like, my uncle was really freaked out. And he was one of the most chill people on the planet. I shouldn't say was, he still is. But
Sorry.
Yeah, he's one of the most chill people on the planet, and for me, even at that age, to see him freaked out was a little unsettling. So I'm at the hospital. They put like a freaking IV in me. I didn't like that, obviously.
Yeah, no.
So there was that, and then Uncle Sam went to the cafeteria and brought me back a strawberry milkshake to make me feel better. I remember that vividly. Meanwhile, I'm watching freaking Rainbow Bright because that's the only thing they had in the freaking room at the time. And my mom shows up, and she's even more freaked out. Like, she's in disbelief because the family that Damien came from, my mom had actually been helping out a lot because they were poor. She was giving them like canned food and paying um, Athena, who was the babysitter. She was paying her a little extra money to help out and all that. And to find out that under her nose all this had been happening, um, yeah, she was really, really upset. And of course, um, thankfully, nothing was wrong with me. I didn't have any, infections or any serious injury or anything. Though I tell you what, it was really weird for a doctor to be looking up my, private areas. It was it was really strange. It was like, this ain't my usual doctor's visit. What the hell?
Wow. You are one naive child, but
Yeah. I was 6. Not and this, it wasn't a very common thing for parents to warn their children of sex offenders because at the time, it wasn't that common, or at least it wasn't put on the news often enough for it to seem common.
mm,
Little, like, even less so from who might as well have been a child himself. I mean, yeah, almost an adult, but he was still like in high school. Like he was technically a child. Um, so anyways, police eventually got involved, and oh, I don't know if I should share. Oh, I don't know if I should share my father's reaction to all of this.
um,
Let's just say Damien is lucky that my uncle caught him and not him, because he probably would have been killed on the spot. Oh God, my dad was very very unhappy. Athena wasn't even welcome in the house anymore because he pulled a gun on her.
really.
Yeah, little handgun, and even fired a warning shot in the house when all she was trying to do was apologize because she felt really bad about what happened. But my dad was seeing red about everything. So, yeah, hearing a gunshot in the house wasn't very fun either. Not at all. Yeah, yeah, exactly. So, the emoji pretty much sums it up exactly.
Oh,
Like,
y-
what?
yes, yes, Red Gonza, you got it on.
Yeah. So, yeah, my dad had some anger issues, and that's probably where I get some of mine. But I would never do anything that drastic over, being simply upset. Well, okay, I shouldn't say simply upset. He was he was a little more than livid. So, anyways,
Yeah,
once
I'm guessing it's more like just.
yeah, yeah, like I'm going to kill that boy if I ever see him, kind of anger.
Oh yes,
So,
I wouldn't blame your dad. I mean, like,
nah, I
this,
mean,
this,
I
this,
don't blame him either. Just like he kind of almost murdered someone innocent in the process. It's like, oh God, Dad, don't. And my mom wasn't happy about the whole firing the gun in the house either.
yeah,
But anyway,
that is one fucked up story. Like, That's like a story that I never thought I would hear. Like, trying to apologize, using a gun. Like that's a very
Well, yeah, I mean, my dad was kind of furious with the entire family because we found out a few other things later on as well.
oh, Jim Jesus is in the room.
Hi, Jim. What's up?
Hey, Jim Jesus, I'm a fan.
Yeah. So, what ended up happening in the end was, he did end up going to juvenile hall. He, he has to be he has to register himself as a sex offender wherever he goes, pretty much for the rest of his life.
Oh yeah,
Despite being a teenager. However, because he was a minor, his sentence wasn't quite as severe. He was only really in there for a few months. So, but he still has to, register himself wherever he goes. Anyway, when the cops did get involved, though, I didn't actually go into the courtroom. I basically just told the cops whatever I could remember, which was quite a lot. I had pretty vivid memory then, as I do now. So, in the long run, and this was the weird thing, but every time something happened and kids were involved, this same cop was always around. So I had seen him at least once before. So, but it was over something completely different. Um,
must be a very small town.
Tacoma's actually not that small. It's got a bunch of small neighborhoods surrounding it. Thanks, Jim Jesus.
Yes.
Really loving the casual look. He makes that comment on pretty much everything, doesn't he?
I don't know what. I don't know much about Jim Jesus. I mean, like,
Yeah.
I all I know is that Dapperton and him are like good friends and whatever, and like,
Yeah. It's like every time I see a comment from him, like especially if it's his like one of his first comments, he always says something like "looking good, guys," or whoever's primarily in the video loving the casual look, or something along those lines. Basically, what he's got right there.
well,
But
I mean, like,
yeah,
your avatar is a cat and my avatar is a human, so I'm guessing he's referring to me.
probably. So yeah,
Uh, uh,
chummy now.
mm.
Only on their videos. Okay. 3 idiots. Okay. So, anyhow, um, I told them what happened. That's how he got convicted. But it turns out I wasn't the only one. There was another girl who lived down the street who was 10, and she ended up actually going to the court because, you know, he was already being convicted for what happened to me. So she had the courage to tell her parents what was happening to her. And that was what actually kind of sealed the deal because
Oh,
she was actually present in the court, and and I guess she got to tell her story to the court. Yeah, pretty sure the jury was pretty convinced at that point that this guy shouldn't be around little kids. So he so yeah, he ended up being sent to juvie. He has to register himself as a sex offender wherever he goes. But another thing we found out later is that their dad, um, he was pretty fucking abusive too. It turns out, pretty
oh shit.
yeah, pretty nice, when there was company. But his the babysitter I was telling you about,
Yeah.
basically using her as like a prostitute, selling her body for sex to some of his friends and whatever. So bad. I don't even want to think about what happened to the two kids that were my age. So, and I wouldn't be surprised if Damien learned all of that shit from his dad. And so I'm sure I don't know what ended up happening with the father later on, but I do know that I wasn't allowed to go back to their house for obvious reasons. To not even play with the little kids. Like I couldn't even talk to those two kids that were in the same class as me. They actually ended up being transferred to another classroom because those two kids started spreading rumors that I had lied and I wasn't going to be their friend anymore, which I couldn't, not because I didn't want to be their friend, but because, my parents simply wouldn't allow it and their parents wouldn't allow it. But yeah, those two kids hated me after that because, family splitting up, that's never an easy thing. They
No.
just didn't they just didn't understand what happened any more than I could have. So, it in the end though, I kind of went from being like this sweet, accepting, very trusting child to paranoid, angry, and, I just couldn't trust people anymore because I was slowly becoming more and more of an outcast because of something that had happened to me. Like, I hadn't done anything wrong, but due to rumors and whatever, it just sort of I couldn't defend myself. I didn't know how to defend myself from that sort of thing. Like, how do I prove that I was telling the truth when I can't even talk to the people who would have known?
Mm.
So, and like everything else that happened after all of this didn't necessarily have to do with what happened to me, but it all happened so fast in such a short span of time. I thought it had everything to do with it at the time. But my parents started fighting more. They eventually got divorced, and
Oh.
so we actually ended up having to move to a whole new community. Things weren't working out with that band of kids either. Um, like I don't know. I just started feeling like a lot of things were ultimately my fault with my parents splitting up and you know family taking sides, custody battles. Oh my god, it was awful.
Oh yeah. I
So like,
imagine.
so here's my, I mean, but here's my thing when it comes to the whole pedophilia argument and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless, if a child, like, you can argue that I gave consent. However, I didn't know better. I was not mentally or sexually mature enough to understand what was going on. In my mind, it was nothing but a game. Until I found out it wasn't. Then things just start hitting the fan. And things that happen around a small child, especially after an event like that, a child will start making connections even if they're not there. So their life can be ruined whether it's because of what happened directly or their life will be ruined because they feel that somehow they're the ones that fucked up.
Yes.
It's not just a physical thing, it's emotional and psychological as well. And I didn't get over it until my late teens. I wasn't comfortable around almost anybody until my late teens when I finally just decided I had to let it go. Like I even had nightmares of this guy like coming out to get revenge for me. Like after, because like when he did get out of juvenile hall, I actually saw him again.
Oh
And
shit.
he was not a happy person when he saw me. Like I had to piece the fuck out because I thought for sure he was gonna just come right after me and, and actually hurt me. Because I had already, because like how the Simpsons has like those arcs where Bart and Sideshow Bob are doing their thing and Bob's trying to kill Bart.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had already been seeing a few of those episodes, so in my mind I was like, oh well, I technically sent him to jail, so now he's probably going to try to kill me. So now I was actually legitimately afraid of him because of my imagination running wild. Yeah, pretty much. So I was like, run, Tabby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Red Gonza also asked, "Did anyone make fun of you?"
Oh, did anyone make fun of me? Well, there were a few kids that, actually thought I was just making it all up because this didn't really go public. There was no like taper, no newspaper tabloids about the story because my parents wanted to kind of keep it private. Plus, it involved pretty much, you know, the guy who molested me was a minor himself, so they probably didn't want to make that a public thing.
Hmm. Probably
Because like the only person I ever had an interview with was that one cop, and that was for testimony. Like they recorded me and everything so that my testimony would be in the courtroom as evidence instead of just actually having me physically in the courtroom with the same guy who molested me. Yeah, that was probably for the best in hindsight, but yeah, it kind of became a lot bigger than what anybody initially thought it would have been, but
Hmm.
not big enough to get it on the news or anything like that.
Uh,
But a little fun fact: my mom, my mom is probably the one person who has not let go of anything. Like I can't remember their last names to save my life, but my mom remembers all of their names. I don't know why I have difficulty retaining like last names, and I can't even remember the names of half the kids that I played with as a kid, but I remember their faces and some of their first names. But yeah, she has actually been like keeping tabs on him ever since, just to make sure that he's on the registry for sex offenders. And it turns out there was eventually a news article about him. I can't remember where it was, but he moved to like Montana or something. And not only did he not register on the sex offender list in that area, but ever since then, he's committed more rape, burglaries, other forms of theft, and assault. And he's got so many, like, according to the news article I read, he has so many potential convictions against him that if he ever gets caught, he's probably never going to get out of jail again. Assuming he hasn't been caught already. Because he's got probably over $200,000 in fines and probably roughly 100 years in sentences, like if they added it all together.
mm,
So yeah, he's a piece of shit.
yeah, no kidding.
Yep, always was and never ever got the help that he should have gotten. But I don't know, it was probably just taught by his dad who probably did the same shit. And he's been It's probably the only thing he freaking knows. But like, I mean, as I said to you in a DM before,
Mm,
like, simply having an attraction to kids, if you keep it to yourself and you keep your hands to yourself and you just don't just keep it suppressed, nobody gets hurt.
right,
Really. Nobody can get hurt that way. But the moment you start acting on those urges, that's when you become the monster. That's when you become a criminal. That's when kids and even their families get hurt. And I don't in Damien's case, he's definitely a monster. Like he he didn't even try to get any help for his urges or anything even after the fact. And how he got out on good behavior is beyond me. He must be a really, you know what? No, he was a good actor. Though I suppose it does not take. Yeah, it yeah. Oh, yeah. I've just basically been spending the last hour or so uh talking about some of my unfortunate experiences as a child where I was groomed and molested by a teenage pedophile. I'm pretty sure he was in high school and he had to have been at least 15 or 16 years old.
yeah.
Oh, hey, hey, Adam.
Atomic and Cap, welcome.
Hey, how's it going, dude? Yeah. So, yeah, my experience was it admittedly is not the worst. It could have gotten way worse
Oh
had
yeah,
it gone on longer. But I mean, once somebody tells you to stick their pee hole in your mouth, even a 5-year-old knows, ew, that's fucking gross.
yeah.
It's
Like,
like I don't have to know anything about the male anatomy other than at 5 years old or 6 years old. I'm sorry. Other than when boys go potty, that's what they use to go pee. That's not what I want. I didn't want any part of that. Hell no.
mm-mm.
Yeah, and even better that my uncle happened to be home as well, because if he wasn't home, well, I might have gotten the shit kicked out of me. Who knows? But yeah. So I don't know. Anybody who listens to this in the future, if it gets, left on the internet for all to hear whenever they want to, um I
I mean,
hope that I mean, oh,
well, I mean,
was
my channel isn't very large, and
I mean, people could always mirror it. I could probably mirror. Well, I'm even smaller than you,
yeah,
but I mean, people could always mirror it or something like that, and hopefully not like chop it up and cut it into take it. Yeah,
yeah. Take it out of context. That's something that you should not do.
yeah. Oh, Isaac, you're not kidding. Like, if all right, my uncle was pretty. He's a pretty chill guy, most of the time, but he was pretty freaked out when Damien was caught in the act. He it might have just been that Damien was a lot quicker than he was, but yeah, Damien ran out like pretty damn fast. He called the cops, and then he checked on me and like rushed me to a hospital just to make sure there wasn't anything, physically wrong with me, or just to make sure I didn't have any infections. My dad probably would have murdered him because he did have a gun in the house and he knew where it was. So yeah, I would have been a dead teenager.
Eh, yep.
Yeah, yeah. My dad was at work at the time. My mom was also like at the grocery store with my younger brother, and my older brother was outside playing somewhere. But yeah, um, having no idea I didn't know it was anything wrong. I thought it was a game. That's what he told me, and you know, I was familiar with him enough at the time that I felt I could trust him. At least up until he wanted me to put certain body parts in my mouth. You. That's like the one thing, like, even today, it just, ugh, it's cringy just to imagine a small child putting something like that in their mouth. It's just gross. No. No. And if I ever have kids in the future, I'm going to be very careful of any young men or any strange men being around them because I don't want any of my kids to have to deal with that in the future. Yeah, it is very horrifying. And I think my biggest issue with pedophilia, especially the people who act on it, I don't think it's so much that they're attracted to, just this cute little tiny human being all adorable and shit. I think it's more like they see a cute, harmless, defenseless thing that can't fight back, doesn't know any better, and does not have the knowledge to, tell whether or not what this guy's trying to get them to do is probably not in their best interest. So when I see people like um youth liberation or Amoshi going all about we should educate little kids on sex and stuff. I'm like, no, because that would be grooming, which is what happened to me. It's like, no. Mark Cuban, is that guy who keeps like going after your channel?
No, Mark Cuban is like some sort of celebrity that's like he owns like several companies and shit.
I've never even heard of this guy.
Yeah, these these people, yeah, these people claim that they're, in contact with Mark Cuban. Like bullshit. You're not in contact with Mark Cuban.
Yeah. Mark Cuban is probably a piece of shit if he thinks that somebody telling the story about what happened to them as a child is, worth shutting down a channel. Okay,
Looks like I'm
these
getting
people
some
are
haters.
just,
Looks like I
yeah.
got some haters. Hello, Elizabeth.
I don't know if that's a hater. I think it's just a troll.
Yeah,
Like,
these people have
especially
no fucking lives.
especially if it's somebody that you've never met before. You have no familiar or blah, I can't talk now. I've already been talking for like an hour. You're not familiar with them at all. They're Dallas Mavericks. He's on Shark Tank. And I don't care about that guy. Is that the bald guy?
Elizabeth,
Saying
Elizabeth, you are a
what?
hater. You are a fucking hater.
So
Grow up.
wait. So you first. Alright, I don't know if you've made any other comments before the atheist gamer sucks, but you haven't made any arguments or counter arguments or anything like that to say whether or not you're a truth teller. All you've said is something that's that's not even an objective fact. That's just your opinion. That's not truth. That's Elizabeth. Well, like Elizabeth.
Yeah, there's a ban.
Oh,
I
love
don't
it.
argue with thoughts. Put tag on the line. What you want to join this hangout? Hey, Elizabeth.
Scammy. Scammy bracelets. The only bracelets that come to my mind are those stupid bracelets that they're basically made of rubber, have a holographic sticker on them, and supposedly help people with their balance or some shit. Those bracelets are so stupid. They didn't even look cool.
Nope.
They just they're just freaking rubber bands on your wrist.
That's
Low
some.
tier god fan. Okay, so I think I see Elizabeth's problem. You're a theist, aren't you?
Oh yeah.
I was right. It was those stupid rubber bands. I knew it.
Uh,
Yeah. Those things
Elizabeth
were
Joy,
such a
a squeaky
scam.
13-year-old can be heard spam dead memes in the mic. Good one, Isaac. By the way, I left the important stuff up here. Uh,
Oh, okay. Isaac
oh,
Clarke, you funny bastard.
uh,
But I
even
mean,
despite
I
the events that you just told me, we're just I was thinking that it was going to be a little bit more emotional, like you're going to break down, like shed
well,
a few tears. But
like I said, this happened over 20 years ago. I got over it in my teens. And, I think I'm comfortable enough at this point that I can't. I thought I was probably going to. I will be honest, when I started talking about like my parents divorcing and me blaming myself, I was kind of getting ready to start. But as far as like what actually, what happened to me directly, as far as the pedophilia is concerned, you know, I'm over that now, but my childhood was effectively ruined as a result of that.
mm, yeah,
I couldn't be just a kid anymore. Like, my mom had to teach me about my freaking period and stuff, and where babies really come from at the age of 6. Like, that's usually a topic that's saved until, you actually reach puberty. Like, I wasn't even halfway there yet. So, yeah, it was just like, so you're telling me that if he had actually done this to me instead of this to me, and I was a little older, I could have ended up with a baby? Like, my reaction to finding things out like that were very, you know, very expressive. Kind of like how I am now when I when I find out that somebody's ducked somebody's kid because they couldn't win an argument.
yep.
It's
Oh,
just like, are you fucking kidding me?
esoteric entity. Why do you do this? I plan to make a video on that guy.
I mean, I'm pretty sure it was Blue that did the actual, digging up old documents and stuff like that. But ESO kind of tried to he tried to add on to it or something. It's hard to
Yeah,
tell because he deleted the comment that he made on that at some point.
man. Um,
Wait,
see,
wait.
there are
Rage,
different.
a rage quit salty moron. Joke of it. I don't know what the FGC is. What is that?
I don't know either. Let's see. Hey, I found a post on DeviantArt. Ooh, Red Gunza got some tasty shit
Yeah.
with
Okay,
midnight
I
with
found a
midnight
post.
fan.
Oh my god, he's still using Midnight Phantom on DeviantArt.
Oh, okay. I gotta see this. Midnight.
Oh my god, I thought that account
Maybe
got banned.
midnight.
Fighting game community. Okay. Um. Oh, like Street Fighter and stuff like that. Hey, it's really easy to get pissed off when you lose at a game. You haven't seen Rage Quit until you see my boyfriend play a game.
Ooh.
He's been trying to play Battlefront 2, and like, okay, like he doesn't quit per se, but he'll keep playing and getting more and more and more pissed off every time he loses because his team's incompetent. or because he keeps getting ganged up on by other players, especially in that game mode where it like randomly selects a target on each side or something. Yeah, every time he ends up being the target, all of his teammates like freaking peace out. Every time. Even complete strangers, they're all like that. Like, why? Like, don't they want to win? They're supposed to protect you. Why are they letting them force push you into the freaking bottomless pit? Oh well. But yeah, let's see. This is on the fetish
Yeah.
matter. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
we've pretty much finished the whole story of what
Yeah.
happened to me. Now we're talking about Yusa.
Yeah. Poor esoteric entity. Like
I think it's esoteric.
esoteric, potato.
But but anyway, I came across like this really, really old pocket dictionary that my mom gave me a long time ago from like 1995, and I was curious because like esoteric, what does that actually mean? So I like just picked up this random dictionary I found that I didn't even know I still had, and just sort of looked up the word, and it means like mysterious or unknown. There's nothing mysterious or unknown about him except for where his brain is gone. Anyone hear me still?
Yeah.
Yeah, but like I don't know. And I mean, I guess he is from like I don't want to like generalize people from Seattle, but lately pretty much anybody who lives in the Seattle area except for maybe a select few people that I actually know of, they they tend to be pretty fucking crazy. Low tier animation. Let's see.
Let's see. I'm looking for esoteric entity video. Full Bender TV. Let's see. Salt load of gamings. Fuck. Salt
But
load of gaming.
yeah.
Wait, what?
So all right. So Elizabeth, if your only complaint about him is that he rage quit in a fighting game or something like that, that's kind of weak sauce, to be honest with you. It like that's not even really anything worth smearing. It's just okay, somebody got frustrated at a game that they didn't win or something and decided to like honestly, I would find it more commendable for somebody to leave the game before they start throwing their controllers around or whatever.
Yeah, I do tend to rage quit, but not on like uh, not on fighting games because I hardly play those games. The only fighting games that I ever played was Marvel vs. Capcom 3, Mortal Kombat.
I like 2 better. I like Marvel vs. Capcom 2 better.
Yeah,
A little more streamlined.
let's see what else. Marvel vs. Capcom 3 Ultimate and PlayStation All Star Battle Royale. And at the time, I did not have internet access. Now, like just a few months now, at September, I've actually got an internet connection at my own home, so now I don't have to worry about uh you know anything. I
Thank
can
you, Gonzo.
yeah, so I can finally stream without going to the library or just relying on some Wi-Fi box. I can finally just do my shit here. Like I feel like a normal person after all these years.
It's like a normal video game playing recluse. Well, that would be me, actually. I'm more the reclusive type. I mean, yeah, I'm over what happened, but I'm still kind of like, towards humanity as for the most part. Especially when I keep seeing things from the left where like I'm
Elizabeth,
seeing like art of decapitated Trump and whatever. It's like, really, guys? Keep that
that's
shit to yourself. It's like it's one thing if you don't like the guy, but you don't need to display it that much. Kind of it kind of shows more about your character than the person that you're trying to take down. Says the person who drew a picture of herself chasing down filthy heretic as if I was going to freaking rip him limb from limb. Not that I showed that, just literally me chasing him, calling him a bastard, and him going, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, over and over. It was kind of meant to look funny, not serious in any way. Did you ever get to see that, by the way? The
what?
the drawing I made of my avatar chasing Filthy's
Yes,
avatar.
yes. I actually have. I think I actually did download it. So
I mean, that was more. That was actually more me like trying to vent artistically because I was really, really unhappy with him screenshotting a conversation I had with him and taking that out of context and not even telling me about it. Like he didn't even have the grace to say, "Hey, you mind if I take this conversation and share it with the whole freaking internet?" It's like,
look at this guy. Look at this guy trying to pretend to be Mark Cuban. You're not fucking Mark Cuban. You're a fucking troll. Give up.
yeah, it's very all right. When somebody says Mark Cuban doesn't care about this topic or whatever, and then all of a sudden Mark Cuban shows up, it's a little suspect that you might not be Mark Cuban. Prove that you are. Also, like, why would Mark Cuban bother himself with a really small YouTube channel's chat that has nothing to do with him either, by the way? Like,
He wants me
your
to
name
prove
is not proof. Like, seriously, if I wanted to, I could change my account name into freaking um
Lady Gaga.
insert Lady Gaga insert celebrity name here and start posting shit in this chat on another window, and you know you would be having a hard time proving that I wasn't that person.
Mark Cuban is way too busy of a person to waste his time on a channel that's really freaking small. And
Jeez. Not only that, but at this hour, he's probably out on a lunch party or something with some other celebrities talking business and some shit.
exactly, exactly. Get out of here, Mark Cuban. Get out of here. Go home.
Fucking wannabe.
Is that what you believed in me before, Tag? I always believed that you are a fake. Go home, Mark Cuban. Go home. You're drunk.
Yeah. They're like, you're not fooling anybody. Like, someone mentions Mark Cuban and suddenly Mark Cuban shows up. That never happens in real life.
Mark Cuban. Mark Cuban.
Or Cumin.
Mark Cuban.
You're about as baseless as a cloud, dude. Go away.
I did it for the views, dumbass. That's all.
Oh, oh, for fuck's sake. We
Go
only
home, Mark
mentioned
Cuban.
we
Go home.
only mentioned we only mentioned you in a video because somebody made a comment and we were reading the comment. We weren't, talking much about you except for like I didn't know who you were, and then somebody else in the comments told us who you were, and you were the like not you, but who Mark Cuban was.
How old is this thought you're talking to? She's calling you a thought.
What the hell is a thought? What does that acronym mean? I've never.
It's basically like just a woman that's like very hot.
Okay, well, I'm 28, if you must know.
That hoe over there.
Just talking. Isaac's talking about Elizabeth.
Oh
No.
man,
Yeah, I
I love
mean, unless
I love the people that are defending me. Yes, your
uh
voice drips with autism. You're the one with a shitty ass account.
nah, you see, I've worked with people with autism. He doesn't sound like autism. Issa probably might have some form of autism, based on how awkward he speaks, especially when he lashes out. Yep.
Yes, please bring up a wither ape. Please, please.
Yeah, I probably know more about what I'm talking about than you do, Mr. Mark Cuban, if that is your real name.
She, Elizabeth's calling you. You. She's calling you autistic.
They can call me whatever they want. It's not gonna bother me. I've been called worse things.
This now she's just denying.
You literally said it, though. I mean, I'm not assuming anything.
Yes, we all know it's for seal of realities.
Yeah, seriously. Oh, and for anybody just coming in, you can call me Tabby Wesa, and I have no qualms of saying this because I really don't. I mean,
Uh,
you're not gonna find anything on me if I just told you my real name right now. You
by the
wouldn't
way,
find shit.
are
But
you
it's
okay
Amber
with your face
Johnson.
on the internet? I already shown my face on the internet so many times. The only reason that I'm not showing it well, I mean, right now is because I don't want to you know, it's better this way. Okay.
I'm not sure if I can even really actually show my face on here because it
Yeah,
doesn't really like my icon doesn't even show on your channel.
yeah. I'm already aware of my failed live stream that's still on my channel. Cause
Yeah, because otherwise I would have just like freaking like enabled my camera right now and just been like, "Hi, bitch. Here's my face." But yeah,
Nor-
I'm like I've already been through so flabby. I've already been through so much in my lifetime that a lot of things don't even really phase me if it's targeted towards me. Like, you can call me whatever you want, you can say whatever you want, and for the most part, I won't give a shit. I'll just say, you're wrong, you're just a troll, and you got nothing better to do except make other people feel bad, or at least try to, which you're failing miserably, by the way.
Mhm. It's practically what 5 against 2.
Is it two? Oh yeah, right. So-called Mark Cuban is in here too.
Yes. Go home,
Yeah.
Mark Cuban.
Yeah, I'm. There's no like.
Oh, look, it's Animal Summon Pain. Hey, hey,
Uh,
Animus. Two or lame.
uh,
Says you. Says you, you lameo.
who's Animus Summon Pain again?
Oh, a
The
cunt.
the clack on comment that shit cracked me up.
Hey, Tag, better check your pants. Make sure you didn't poop in. War Corpse, go home. You're not War Corpse. Okay? Impersonating someone on YouTube is. It's just bad. Like,
Yeah, like we're going to listen to what you have to say, Mr. Pain or Mrs. I probably shouldn't assume your gender. I might trigger you. Like seriously, like why do people get so triggered over the littlest shit? Like, hold on. If my microphone got unplugged. Give me a second.
take time, Tabby.
Yeah, I'm fine. My microphone is connected for some reason. Yeah, internet must have crapped out again.
Some people look for things to get offended in life. That is so freaking true. That's That's what social justice warriors do all the time. You know,
I
they
mean,
see
I
they see a
think
black
there's
baby
a
triggered. They see a man eating an ice cream cone. They're fucking triggered.
I think there's a an actual not triggered, but I'm pretty sure there's another word for that. Um, somebody who just looks for things to be pissed off about. Like, I've been a cashier before, and I have seen people on a daily basis try to make me feel bad just for being at a dead end job or something like that. Like, I haven't even had a chance to scan the first damn thing on their cart or on the conveyor belt, and they'll be all, "You're doing it wrong. You're too slow. Nah, 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 nah. When are you gonna get a real job?" It's like, fuck you, bitch. I get paid like $11 an hour, and it's
Right
and it's not to put
now,
up
I'm
with your
working
shit.
in the school, getting paid like 13.50 an hour. It's pretty good. You know, it's not like the best, but like it's something to get me at least put food in my mouth and.
Bitch, at least I have a job. What do you do for a living?
How that has ever happened. 11 hours of is chump. 13.50.
Actually, in Illinois, that's actually pretty damn good, which is where I live, by the way. Bring it, bitches. Bring on the hate mail. Oh, hey, hon. Are you awake? Barely. Alright.
Animus.
Um,
Bullshit. Otherwise,
yeah.
you wouldn't even be here.
Yeah, there aren't as many liberals in Illinois as you might think.
In New York, though, like it is a very liberal state. I'm
Oh no, I'm just referring to wannabe war corps here.
yes, War Corps. Wanna be
Yeah.
War Corps 6. Don't you know that War Corps 666 account has been shut down thanks to SJW crying
Yeah.
over this shit? He got a new account called Lords of Patriarchy.
Yeah. Well, I'm actually gonna have to get going here in a bit.
Yes,
I
okay.
gotta take the boyfriend to work. But
Understood.
I mean it won't take me long. I'll be right back.
Okay, sure.
If you want to keep going.
Yes, I'll entertain the guests here.
Okay. All right. I'll be right back.
Okay, so cat lady, what is your channel? She does have a YouTube channel, but unfortunately, um, it's not very large. She doesn't really post much. Um, she goes by the same name, Tabby Wessler. You could look her up, and maybe you can find her channel. And no, War Corpse, you're not the real deal. Okay, the real War Corpse is right now. Tag, does your parents still yell at you for pooping your pants? I don't know. Do your parents tell you to leave your fucking home? So, anybody got any questions? No, it's not Tabby Wetzla. It's Tabby Wetsa. Let me just spell it out for you. It's Abby Wetsa. That's her name. But I don't give a flying fuck about orbital unit suit. Yes, please, please. Not sure if you can um You should. That's me, and I own you. Yeah, bullshit. Like even if you are orbital unit suit, the fact that you're doing this shit is pretty fucking sad. Does your dad still get drunk at kids' birthday parties? The last birthday party he ever been to was years ago. What? Hold on. Let me see if I can find her YouTube account. Tabby. Okay, I misspelled. It's not. Let me um repost again. Tabby Web. Tabs 24X official. They didn't owe shit. You guys grouped up to what? Do absolutely nothing. Troll Posse's practically dead. You guys are shells of your former selves. So yeah, like I said, Tabby West has a YouTube account, but she hardly posts at all. The last video she made was 3 months ago, and her quality isn't all that great. No, wrong. It was Candy Kale 10 continuing to flag down every fucking video that I make. Sure, Red Gonza. Why not just send me the link on Twitter, Red Gonza? You know, I have a Twitter account. You don't have a video of my zipper taken down. Go home. You're gonna have to do some research, Elizabeth. No, but your mother does. I remind you every day to watch yourself in your parents' apartment. I'll just simply block you, Elizabeth. I'll just block you. I just link it into your discussions. All right, hold on. Let me just look at my discussions. Okay, so let's see if I can do something with this shit. You guys are trolling so poorly. Like you're just making a very poor excuse, Animus. You're very, very poor. No, I do not have a crush on you. But since we're here, I'll just wait for Tabby Westa to like come back, and we'll see. We'll see what's going on here. The predicted response to right hand midnight fat. Now let's see. Oh man, if only I could show you the pictures. There's one face that he's making that's like incredibly meme worthy. Like, oh, you guys should see it. You guys should really see it. No, it's Enema. It's Enema. More like Enema. Tabs Bunny. Yes, Tabs Bunny. Oh man. Oh, come on, get wrecked. Tabby, is that you? I don't drive. I don't drive, bro. I take the train. Tabloid is back.
Okie dokie. Huh.
Okay.
Ooh, we got a subscriber. Thank you, Isaac.
All right.
Tabloid.
So, what's his face? Red Gonzo, I think, sent me a link to see, to this article, this commission to
They
midnight.
yeah, Red Gonza deleted the link, he said.
Don't worry, I have it.
Yeah. Wait, what did he post?
It's just look at your Twitter. Just I'll send it to you via DM.
Okay. Yeah, probably better that way. Is Elizabeth still there?
That's, yes, Elizabeth is there.
I just like.
Why are you here, Animus? If you think it's so lame, go home.
Jeez. It's too bad I can't like share my screen or something. I'd probably like draw or something.
Yeah. So let's see. It's
Go Pride. Oh, okay. See.
so you should see some of the pictures that this guy posts, because he has one face that's completely meme worthy, where it's just complete anger, like let me see if I can.
Oh, boom. Okay.
Okay, let me see if I can share the screen. Right here. It's practically uh, this picture right here. Look at that face. Look at it. Does not look like a face of just someone that's completely disappointed. I'm not sure. Is it sharing? I don't think I can screen share. Fuck. Okay. I'll probably post a picture on. I'll post it on my Twitter page because it's just hilarious. Just hilarious not to share. uh, I'm gonna make so many internet memes with this guy. Tabby, you still alive? Yeah, she's gone. Yeah, all right. Oh, I guess she's gone. Well, it doesn't really matter. So, I think, shit. It was a very fun stream. Uh, Before I end the stream, in case, oh, tab back. Mm.
There we are.
Ah, there we are.
Oh,
There we are.
yeah. Sorry, my internet has been. I don't know why, but every summer my internet router is just like, fuck you. Every like sometimes it'll be every 5 minutes, and sometimes it'll be good all day. Until the one time I absolutely need it to work. It's like, God damn it. Yeah, I I can't confirm it, but I'm pretty sure it has something to do with the squirrels that live in the tree in my front yard. Because the cable that connects to my router and goes outside to the telephone pole, it's like right next to the tree, and sometimes those little bastards like to run up and down the cord. Little fuckers. All right, so let me see here. Let me see. My
Yeah,
God, he
yeah.
does look like
I'm gonna
somebody
I'm
I've
gonna
met
give you
before.
credit, Gonza. Thank you for sharing the link. Thank you for sharing a very meme-worthy face. Because, man, you should see it for yourself, Tabby. It's pretty hilarious. Maybe it should be.
Oh God, really? That was his face?
Oh yeah, that's his face right there. That's his face.
The one where he's like all really, really gruff. That's, oh my God, that really, I knew I've seen that face before. I just didn't know where. Like, my God, I swear I've seen this person before. And now that really, really grumpy one.
Yes,
Oh,
that's the face.
jeez.
That is the
Yeah.
face of someone's like, he's trying way too hard to meme. Like, he's either trying to purposely meme or not trying to meme at all. But either way, it's a face that's like worth memeing.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, I've been on DeviantArt for a while myself. I'm not one of those crazy ones, trust me. Yeah, despite everything that's happened, I'm not one of those. Um, you'll see fan art on there, but nothing creepy or anything like that.
Oh,
So, yeah, like,
or
I will admit, before anybody goes looking up Tabby Wesa on DeviantArt, yes, I do have Undertale art, and like I also have Rocket Knight and a few other things that I was a fan of at the time. But I haven't actually been drawing a lot of that stuff for a while. Um, I don't know. I think I might have had an obsession with Sans, but not in a sexual kind of way. Just like I really like the character.
yeah, there are way too many people that has like a real disgusting fetish for sand, especially the whole font says thing like font
Oh,
yes. Why are you
font
why
incest.
are you making these two bone each other in a more literal sense? Like,
Yeah, like what?
why are you doing this shit?
It's like what is with the ectopenis?
I,
God
somehow
damn.
Sans has a freaking tongue, and he's slobbering over a
Uh,
papaya orange.
stop, stop,
Orange.
stop, stop, stop. It's like, no. Like, trust me. I mean, I know what you're talking about. I've stumbled onto some of that before, and I'm like,
Oh,
no thanks. Oh, jeez. I think probably the only cringeworthy thing that I've ever done on DeviantArt really was for a short time, and I do mean a very short period of time. I don't know if anybody's familiar with like Renee is determined or whatever. At least that's what her username was at the time. But she's that person who she actually does a lot of that weird Five Nights at Freddy's and Undertale fetish crap.
oh no!
And like she got a lot of shit for like aging up Frisk and stuff. Yeah. I like and it was a paid commission, but I didn't do anything weird. It was like whatever, you're paying me $50 to draw this and it's not a small child and as far as I'm concerned, like when it comes to fictional characters, I'm not quite as concerned at, as long as they're fictional characters. Like that whole AU thing. Can anyone hear me still?
I can hear you.
Okay. Um, unable to chat. Yeah, I can't see anything on the chat. But like she commissioned me to do like a piece where they're all at Grillby's, and I guess Sans is like proposing to a what's supposed to be a male version of Frisk, but I have no idea anymore. It was just like a this was like when I was much younger, and I was just like, okay, well, younger in my mind, I should say. It was kind of like, okay, whatever. Frisk is kind of like a self-insert character. I guess it's fine, but haven't drawn anything like that since, and I don't plan to. Especially after the controversy that followed afterwards. Not with me, but with Renee. Like, people were always hating on her comics and stuff, and I don't really blame them in hindsight. But I had like I don't know if you can really call it white knighting, but I kind of white knighted her until
Damn.
she stabbed me in the back, and then I completely just like, you know what? You're on your own, bitch.
Mm-hmm.
I tried to defend you by saying you're not a pedophile, and now you're being a bitch. So your problem now. But yeah, I haven't defended that sort of thing for anybody ever since. And the only reason I defended Renee at the time was because I was pretty positive that she wasn't into that sort of thing. At least, I mean, because I figured if she was into pedophilia, she wouldn't bother raising, the age up or anything. Like, she wouldn't bother doing that. So it doesn't make sense. to me for a pedophile to draw a character that's canonically a child into an adult. That always baffled me. I don't get that. But let's see. I don't know. She kind of just became one of those people that was just angry for the sake of being angry, and I kind of hate that type of person. Yeah. I loved Renee though. I haven't. Okay, Elizabeth, you're making things up. You saw my most recent video. My most recent video had nothing to do with Renee. Like, at all. Like, what is she talking about?
You see, this is the thing about
My most recent video. I don't think you've seen my channel. My channel's been dead since last year, and my most recent video was either a little tutorial on how to draw Rowlet from Pokemon, or it was about Antifa or something like that. I don't even remember what my latest video was about because I haven't made a video in so long.
it's 3 months ago. Tabby wants to talk about Maryland shootings.
Did Renee? I have no idea what Bang Bus is. No, I don't think so. See, now they're just kind of making up stuff because I mentioned her. But no, it's not that one. Yeah, she's one of those people on DeviantArt that's just kind of like, I don't know. I think in her mind she thinks she's doing the right thing by standing up to trolls. Enema.
And
I don't know what Bang Bus is. Like, I've never even heard of that before.
I think Animus and War Corps are the same person.
They probably are.
Oh, man.
Yeah, see, now they're definitely trolling because, like, I don't know who these people are, and they're saying that I let somebody fart on my face.
These guys are pathetic. Like they used to be big trolls on the internet. Now they're not even.
These people are just being weird. Whatever.
Yeah, free views.
They have to be watching the video in order, or at least be on the same page as the video in order to even make these comments. And they are watching because they're responding to anything I say.
Exactly.
So it's like, okay, whatever. You're giving him views. Say whatever you want.
Someone
message retracted. I didn't even get a chance to read what it was. But Elizabeth retracted a bit of comments just now.
Oh, what's the matter, Elizabeth?
Oh, jeez. What did I accidentally call something out as she posted it, and she's like, "Fuck," deleted it. I'm actually getting some amusement from
Yes, this is. I haven't had fun like this in a while.
Oh my god.
We're superiors. We're your eye candy, your mentors. No, you're not.
Ad blocker pro. It still counts your views though too. It doesn't matter if you really see the this isn't even monetized, to be honest, is it? Pretty sure it's not.
No, it's not.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
I'm not even getting any money from these advertisements anyway, so why bother advertising at all?
Yeah,
I'm using Patreon, for fuck's sakes.
Still gonna show the view though, regardless if you're making money off of it or not. It just gets applied to the algorithm.
Who cares? You don't get anything from. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. You moron.
Goes on the statistics.
Congrats on one view. I don't think this person know what numbers are.
Yeah. Um.
You're going to flag
Okay.
my Patreon? Like, good luck. Good luck with that.
Yeah, you kind of have to have an actual thing to flag them for, and I don't think you have that.
Exactly. You
Like,
got no dirt on me.
you can't just it's not like MOC or Youth Liberation where they're promoting pedophilia or anything like that. He's not doing anything like that.
Exactly.
So you'll find one. Don't worry about it. Good luck. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, you're totally smart.
Unless I do something incredibly illegal, like perform some sort of pedophilic act or
You
murder
see,
someone, then that's it will never happen. I'm not doing anything illegal, so that it will never happen.
you
I'm just
know,
a creator.
it's funny that he says that he's smarter than both of us. I feel that somebody who is genuinely smarter than somebody wouldn't have to say it.
Exactly. And right now we're like,
I
it's
need a
pretty much,
lobotomy.
it's pretty much like you guys are outnumbered, so give up.
Well, to be fair, it isn't really by much, but still. It's just you're really just here because you're bored and you want to cause problems out of said boredom. Exactly what Isaac just said.
Yeah, I could just simply ban them, but their comments
Uh,
make me smile.
who would who admitted to pooping their pants? I don't think anybody has actually stated that.
Exactly.
See, so it's like you got selective hearing and you're only hearing the things you want to hear, and in the empty spaces where you weren't paying attention, you're just making things up like people supposedly admitting they poop their pants.
It was
Yeah.
like years ago, and apparently they take it so goddamn seriously.
Yeah. Not like
Like,
and
yeah,
if you made a video and you got somebody else to admit they pooped their pants, how does that make you look dumb? If anything, that makes the other person look dumb.
the sad part is that they actually believe me. This is how these trolls work.
I think they're just saying whatever is convenient at the time. Whatever they think can get a rise out of you in any way, shape, or form. Even if it's just as subtle as my reaction, which is like me basically either laughing in their face or just saying whatever. It's still a reaction, and that seems to be enough for them.
Exactly. I was sincere when I made those videos. It's called fucking acting, you moron.
Yeah, somebody doesn't know what sarcasm is either, apparently.
Yes, like, oh man, you know how sometimes I have to go to bed, just gotta wake up in bed, my stomach hurts, and as soon as I start trying to get down to bed, my stomach just goes like, holy shit, fucking, like, how can
See,
you guys take it so goddamn seriously? This is
yeah.
this.
You know what's really funny though? Especially when it comes to trolls or even people who are just trying to stir the pot just to see if you'll slip up or whatever. I've noticed that like anything that sounds incriminating, even just a little bit, they just sort of blow it out of proportion and just kind of run with it. Like they're basically doing what the left does every time that President Trump does something stupid.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, like just just the other day or recently, I guess Trump made a tweet where he threatened the president of Iran, who threatened the U.S. first, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
That he said that if he ever threatens the U.S. again, like he was gonna like make him pay like big time for like all the threats, murder, and whatever. Does it really matter if I'm a Trump supporter or not? No, I'm just pointing out the fact that people really blow things out of proportion when it comes to the guy. Yeah, he does some stupid shit. He makes some dumb decisions here and there, but I don't think any of it is quite as worthy as left likes to make it out to be. Like some of it, I just hear is just like whatever. I don't give a shit. It doesn't have any impact on my life. I don't care what this mess does. But
Well, hold on. Getting some news. Esso and the Tar Bomba 2 put in a bestiality proof the conversation of shitposting about a guy's new dog. Holy shit.
me so oh yeah, Billy.
Dapperton already uploaded a video responding to esoteric entity.
Shit post. Oh, so basically they took what was just shit posting and telling a joke and took it as serious evidence that they were actually going to commit this bestiality.
Mm.
Uh, which one of us sounds like a robot? And it probably doesn't matter. I've got the YouTube video muted, so I can't really hear myself. But you sound fine, so it's probably me.
Mm.
Yeah, I figured it was me. Yeah, that would probably be my internet. It's probably gonna peace out here in a second.
Yeah, yeah. We've been going on for how long now? Let's see.
I want to say at least an hour and a half.
It's 1 hour and 47 minutes.
Yeah, we've been at this a while. We should
Yeah,
probably
the,
just
the
call.
first
We should probably
the
just
first
call it a
half.
day.
Yeah, we should probably call it off a day. But before I we ended, I've let me share a very short and quick story. Okay, it's also about pedophilia. And in case any of you guys haven't watched my previous video about this topic, essentially back around 2010, 2011, uh, I had an uncle that came from Puerto Rico. You know, I used to love the guy. You know, he comes over every summer. You know, he would bring over gifts and like, oh yes, yes. He was like one of the best uncles I could ever have. But then, you know, when one um he came over, you know, I wasn't around at the time because I was, you know, with my friends at the library because I felt like, you know, I love my uncle very much, but like not enough to go on some stupid trips. So I spend my time with my friends. And what was happening is that, you know, my family went to Randall's. My uncle was caught looking at some girls. You know, he not some like little like young girls, but like young somewhere around 6 to 10 years old. You know, it was. I think he was also taking pictures of those girls as well. And like it's a very creepy thing to do. And and my father was like, you know, completely disgusted by it. And who wouldn't be? Like he's hanging out with my sister, which by the time was 10, 10, 11 years old at the time. Oh,
Yeah, you're lagging a little bit.
Sorry about that. My internet sometimes does that. Okay. I hope people are still on the same boat right now. So what happened is that my uncle was caught looking before the chat ended. Disable chat. Oh well. Um, what was I gonna say? My uncle was caught looking at some young girls, and what happened after that is like it was taking a B. Your accent is killing your connection. Holy shit!
Your Puerto Rican accent is too much for the internet to handle.
I don't think I even have an accent. It's just
A little bit. Just a little.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I have this really weird, extremely, somewhat feminine voice. Like you could mistake. Like if you only heard my voice, you could probably think that it's actually a woman's and not a man. But I'm pretty much 100% man. Like
Oh, 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 geez.
yes,
Isaac, stop. Sorry, you're making me cackle.
feminine. You sound like a. I don't even know what a turtle sounds like. Do turtles even make sounds?
Yeah, they do, especially when they're mating.
Uh, hold on, just give me a second.
Something like that.
What does it sound
Pretty much. uh, RG. Okay, RG. Oh, the snapping turtle specifically. Why would we ban you? You're so entertaining.
exactly?
Not the mating ones.
I don't like. I wonder what a turtle sounds like because I never thought they actually make sounds.
I have no idea.
You're
Oh
not
god.
give give it up, Animus.
We like to laugh at the freaks. That's we do.
Yes, yes. Anyway,
Your inner turmoil nourishes us.
mm, damn troll tears.
SJW tears.
Yes, very
There's
SJW.
enough of them to fill up a dam.
Owning you. You've been outnumbered, brah. You're outnumbered.
You know, like we're not even getting angry at this point. Like I wasn't really getting mad at the start. I was just kind of like,
I'm
these
pretty
people
much
have no
surprised.
lives.
Oh my god. Anyway, my uncle was at the time, hanging out with my little sister and my parents, and my father caught him looking at some girls taking pictures, and he didn't do like any sexual acts, but the fact of the matter is that he was sort of being this kind of creep with like,
He's a creeper.
yeah, yes, the pedo uncle. Which, by the way, is on my mother's side and not my father's. Okay, Red Gonzo.
Bye, RG.
Yeah, I already sent a link to Dapperton. It'll take a look, most likely. Where was I? Me, like it's when my father found out that he was doing this shit. Um, he practically said, you know what, don't come back to this house. Don't come back at all. Like he was concerned about my little sister, which again by the time was like 10 years old,
Yikes.
and we haven't seen him since forever. Like I don't know what he's doing today. Is he in Puerto Rico? Is he in jail? I don't know, but it was disappointing that my uncle wasn't going to come the next year, and only like a few years later, my father decided to tell me the truth, and I was, very very disturbed by it, like disturbed but understanding, like my favorite uncle of all time is hold on.
Was that a xylophone or a ringtone? Wow.
Yeah,
Classy, Elizabeth. Very classy.
shouldn't my dad be more concerned about showing up to a friend's birthday party drunk, or was that no, he gotten drunk at the party. He didn't show up drunk.
Gonna have to have an address to order pizza.
Exactly.
Counts. Spoiler, he doesn't. Well, how do you know that? Maybe he has a part-time job or something.
My father's my my grandfather died when that happened. He was miserable. What do you expect?
Yep, depression's a bitch.
Yeah, I mean, like when my father heard about the news that my grandpa died, he was weeping on top of the fish tank.
The fish
And,
tank.
oh yeah, we had a fish tank. It was like a year after we went to Puerto Rico,
Uh huh.
and when we heard the news, like he was weeping a little bit on the top of the fish tank, like and it was devastating to see him like this. Like I haven't heard him cry in years.
Yeah.
So like a few days later, my sister had a party, and he didn't want to go there at all because it's a children's party. Well, I mean, what are you gonna do at a children's party? Like, just play whatever?
Yeah. I don't know. Like, it's kind of a regular thing where people drink at kids' parties and stuff. Like, they're usually very tame about it, but like in your dad's case, like if he was that depressed, having was that like his father, your grandpa?
Yeah,
Okay, so yeah, like
yeah. My father's father got depressed, a little bit, and of course, when he was at the party, he's gonna start drinking. He was actually drunk. He was miserable.
yeah, that's unfortunate. But yeah, I mean, people have their own ways of dealing with loss and depression, and I don't I don't really think it's fair to attack his father for trying to deal with his depression and coping with loss. A drunken rage, I don't care if he was drunk at a kid's party. Like some people are happy drunks. Some people are angry drunks.
Yeah,
It really just kind of depends on which type of drunk you are, I guess.
my father. I don't think like he does drink often, but like not enough to get him drunk. Like it was the very first time I seen him drunk. Like when he was in bed, he was like, when I looked at him, he was like, your grandfather died in Puerto Rico. Like
Hold on, Isaac, which comment are you talking about? You got a lot of comments up here. Probably the one where, oh, okay. He's just saying ignore anima.
yeah, Anima, just give up. Just give up.
Yeah.
You know, like,
Eh. Validation.
validate. He doesn't need validation. You guys are seeking validations yourself.
Uncultured swine.
Uh,
Love it.
I just wish the others was here. I wish, Dapperton. Well, I mean, Atomic just showed up like for like a few seconds and then just go boop. That's it.
Well, yeah, because by then I was already done telling my story, so he kind of
Yeah.
missed out on that. And we were basically BSing at that point.
He's not. He's not begging to read my comments. We're reading his comments out of our own free will.
Yeah, it's like, whoops.
uh,
Oh God. Yeah, you troglodytes. Go back to your hole.
oh man, I should make more live streams like in the future.
Yeah, just for this, like, we could just BS and just listen to idiots like this talk about
Yeah, I'm
how
planning.
we may or may not be like. Oh, yeah. Have you noticed, by the way, that Mr. Cuban disappeared? Like they
Yeah,
gave that up completely.
yeah, they both know it. They both know it. That he's full of shit.
Autist.
Autist.
I don't think autist is really
Is that even a real word?
like
Autist.
autist.
Aut-
I'm an artist. Is that what you meant? R's on the other side of the keyboard, dumbass. Uh oh, see, now he's back
yes,
because I
now
mentioned
he's
it.
back. Now he's back.
Oh, yes, you're. You know, it's true. You are very entertaining.
I must. Come on, Elizabeth. Make your own goddamn live stream.
Oh, jeez. Nah. Oh, jeez. You're not even running the stream. You're just kind of there. You like if you were really running the stream, you would be in the hangout, but you're not. Tag is ungrateful. Right. Totally ungrateful.
Ungrateful.
Yeah, yeah, because he's.
I think it's. Oh my god.
I cackled again. God damn it. Sorry, my laugh is. I know my laugh is annoying a bit.
Your laugh reminds me like one of those witches laugh, like.
Yeah, it's called a cackle, but yeah, yeah, I get that a lot. That's fine. But you know, when I laugh like that, it's a genuine laugh. When I just can't contain it, it's like, oh god.
Oh.
Oh, I hate my laugh. I hate my laugh so much. Just because I know it sounds like a witch cackling.
You could.
If you crank the pitch up to like 100,
You could actually be a good voice actor, just playing that some villain.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Let's see.
Maybe if you keep complimenting her, Tabby will send you a digital smooch.
Sorry, I'm taken.
Yeah,
Ah. Yeah. And even if I did send like a digital hug with like asterisks or anything like that, it would have been platonic anyway. Like we're friends, but we don't know each other that well anyways.
exactly.
Yeah, I mean we've only really been associated for a few months, and really only because of Mr. Dapperton. Because I think you showed up in the Libertunes chat
Yeah,
I
I
want
just
to say a few months ago. I don't remember exactly when.
yeah around April ish. Dapperton was hiring for writers, and I was one of those writers. I decided to join because I there was a to joined was his Libertine army. So I joined. Wrote a script for what's his face. Oh yeah, it was an episode for this.
tags asks tags asking who made your avatar.
I forgotten, but I'm trying to look for the guy right now because it's been over
Like
months. Yeah, he
yeah,
has a
like
lot of talent. I'll if I can find the guy, I'll credit him. But for now, I'll just
he idiot. And I'm talking to you, Elizabeth, when I say that, because like that isn't a name, you dolt. It's like no shit. He just said he doesn't remember that person's name. How could he give
exactly.
you a name, you imbecile?
Uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
all right, I'll see what. Let's see. Uh,
I think Enema here is projecting a little bit. Eh, it really doesn't matter who you're talking to. And a dictionary. Oh, jeez. Alright, well, I think we probably should just end this
yeah.
for now. I mean, this has been going on for almost 2 hours.
Oh yeah, yeah. I can understand. So, any final words, Tabby?
Um, not really. Just have a nice day, everybody. For those who have been around, who are actually around to listen to my story and, actually care any, um, I just, like, all I really want out of that is that, maybe if kids heard my story, they would learn from it and not make the same mistake I did, not be so trusting of adults, even if they know them. Because you never really know. Sometimes it'll be somebody you're close to, and sometimes it'll be a complete stranger.
Mm, yes. And for my final words, pedophilia is never okay. Even I can understand that some people have some urges, but if you keep your urges intact and do no harm, then that's fine by me. The second that you decide to act on those urges, it's just terrible because
Yeah.
being a pedophile has a negative connotation. Just thinking of wanting to have sex with children is terrifying. This happened to Omnipolitics 16, a YouTuber about a year ago who's been exposed for being a pedophile. And he was on the Wazowski show, and there was like a lot of drama. Eventually, he was in jail, and according to rumor, committed suicide. I don't want this to happen to anyone. I don't. You do not, even if you think that you are a pedophile, don't promote it. Okay, don't promote pedophilia. Don't try to normalize it. What your pedophilia itself, it is just negative, and you should not suffer. Like, you should seek some help. And I'm being genuine about this. Like, you, like, I wanted to help youth liberation to see if I can at least guide them away from pedophilia and maybe convince them that pedophilia is wrong. Maybe I'm wrong that maybe that pedophilia is normal, but I doubt that. I am very, very doubtful that pedophilia is normal. What I'm trying to say is that if it's not too late for you to change if you are in fact a pedophile, seek some help, and just for the hopes of the future, just not give in to those urges. Don't be a pedophile. So I am the Atheist Gamer, and keep gaming on. Tabby?
Yeah. And this is Tabby Lisa. Have a meowtiful day.
That's a good one. Adios, amigos.